You've waited long enough. It's time for that big announcement right here on the new Detroit Sports 105.1.
Welcome, everybody, on Detroit Sports 105.1. Again, DetroitSports1051.com, and also on, drum roll please, Pistons.com live. As today marks a very big day in Detroit sports history, as we gather together with our new partners at Palace Sports and Entertainment, the Pistons, and Detroit Sports 105.1. Yes, sir. It is a big day for both organizations as we launch an exciting new relationship that will benefit our outstanding Detroit, certainly sports fans here. Here to share the details of our big announcement today, as we go from left to right here, Steve Chessare, Market Manager at Detroit Sports 105.1. Dennis Mannion, the President and CEO of Palace Sports and Entertainment. And our Program Director, the man in charge, my boss, Jason Dixon of Detroit Sports 105.1. At this time, it is my privilege to introduce Dennis Mannion, President and Chief Executive Officer of Palace Sports and Entertainment, to talk about this exciting new relationship. Dennis?
Gee, thank you, Matt, and thank you to Greater Media. It's a pleasure on behalf of Tom Gores and the Palace Sports and Entertainment and the Pistons to announce that we are your new partners here at 105.1 Detroit Sports. And I can tell you personally, I couldn't be more thrilled. I think I counted, this is my 8th now radio or media-based deal that I've done, and I couldn't have had a more pleasurable time working with Steve and his team. It's been fantastic. And what I'm loving about it is Tom had said a couple of things before we went to do a new deal. He said, I need you to be thoughtful, I need you to be innovative, and I need to be passionate. And the team at Greater Media made that easy for us and our team as we got into discussions. And Tom's other word was, let's be consistent. We want to have a consistent voice, a consistent place to be heard. And here at 105.1, we feel very at home, and it will be one place, the one place to get all the regular season games. And because of the tie to ESPN, you also get the postseason games as well. So we're loving the tie-in with ESPN. It's very NBA, which is fantastic. The other thing I'm loving in talking to these guys is this opportunity now to stream distribution of content. That's a big thing now, but you look at radio today and where it's going to be in the next 5 years, and I think it'll be literally night and day because of streaming distribution. So we're excited about that. I also want to tell you that from a programming standpoint, we've worked very hard at the Pistons Network to build 20 features per week. And we're looking forward to sharing all those features with our new partners, both on the internet and on mobile applications as well. The other thing I'd like to say is it's fantastic for us to think we have a basketball season coming up that will be presented on one station and one station only with no conflicts. That itself deserves a round of applause. And I'll finish up by saying this. Not only are we going to be featured on 105.1, but we're going to use the HD2 channel to present a lot more content for those basketball fans that are out there looking for a little bit more. That should be very, very exciting. And the last thing I'd like to say is on behalf of our players as well, this is going to be a joy to serve this market through 105.1, and we are looking forward to being back with Matt Derry again as well. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Dennis. At this time, I'd like to introduce Steve Chessare, Market Manager here at Detroit Sports 105.1, to say a few words about the partnership. Steve?
Well, the first thing I absolutely have to say, and I know everybody in this room who is a part of Greater Media Detroit, this is an exciting day for us. And it's an exciting day, but it's also a natural day for us in the progression of 105.1. You know, we started the radio station on August 12th, just 8 months ago. And the two things that we knew we had to have when we started out was we had to have a strong affiliation with a sports network that would make us viable on a national platform, and we had to have local talent. We had to have talent that people wanted to hear, that people recognize, and that people are going to be entertained by. So we went out, we got ESPN to partner with us as an affiliate. We got Drew Lane, and we put him in Afternoon Drive, and Drew has done a phenomenal job of anchoring our broadcasts in the afternoon. And then we got this guy here, who does a phenomenal job middays and leading up to Drew and really bringing home the Detroit sports story to the Detroit sports fan. So it's an exciting day for us. It's a day that we feel is a natural evolution of the radio station, and it's also a very big event for Greater Media Detroit completely, because I've entered into a marketing partnership, not just for 105.1, but also for WRIF and WCSX as well, because Palace Sports and Entertainment is a lot more than just the Pistons. And it's the first type of partnership of this kind in Detroit, and it's something that I think it's really going to play out well for the people of Detroit. So we're very excited.
Thanks.
And now to talk about a bit of the nuts and bolts about the programming that you're all gonna hear and experience, I'd like to toss it over to Jason Dixon.
Thanks, Steve. Sort of to elaborate on what Dennis said earlier on, one of the things that's so exciting about this is, it's a rights deal. We're gonna do pregame shows and postgame shows and in-game broadcast on Detroit Sports 105.1, but it's really a multi-platform content distribution deal. When you look at it, it's creating an unprecedented amount of content for the basketball fans of Detroit, and distributing it where they are. If they happen to be listening to Detroit Sports 105.1, which we recommend most people do, that's great. But if they have a car with an HD radio, they're going to have our HD2 channel, which is going to have a ton of Pistons content. If they have the Detroit Sports 105.1 mobile app or the Pistons mobile app, that content will be there. It'll be on both the club and our radio station websites. So we're going to be creating content constantly 365 days a year, and then distributing that where the Pistons fans, the basketball fans of Detroit are. And that's one of the most exciting parts of this partnership is the ability to create all that great content and give it to the fans of Detroit. A couple of other things we want to mention. The games, something new with the NBA this year is they're going to allow us to stream the games on our website, DetroitSports1051.com, Pistons.com, and each of our mobile apps as well. Again, taking this great content of Detroit Pistons basketball and putting it where people can hear it, whether they're by a radio or whether they're at home or on a golf course or, out on vacation. It's going to be there for them. Obviously, the broadcast team, Mark Champion, Rick Mahorn, are going to be back. And, Mark Champion and I go way back from my days listening to him call Tampa Bay Buccaneer games. So I'm very excited to be working with Mark. And, of course, Rick's been with us all season long as our Pistons insider. So great to have those guys back and doing their thing. One of the best play-by-play teams in the NBA will be heard on Detroit Sports 105.1. So we're very excited about all that content. We're very excited that, as Dennis mentioned, every game, preseason, postseason, all going to be heard in one place on Detroit Sports 105.1. And really looking forward to kicking things off with the NBA draft coming up here in not too far in the distant future. So very excited about this opportunity and this partnership with Palace Sports.
All three gentlemen have mentioned that these two names, we got to recognize these guys, give us a wave or a stand up or something, but the voices of the Pistons are in the building. You'll hear them later on with Drew and Mark Champion and Rick Mahorn. Fellas, there they are. I worked with Mark for 12 years, Rick with 11, and Mark was a grade 12. Oh, hey, Rick. I love that man. Rick, I'm being in all seriousness, the fact that we're able to be with Rick and full time, he's the best, and he's a great ambassador for the game. Will be a great ambassador always for the Pistons, but for us too at the radio station. So I got to give him some love, even though he's a big phony sometimes. Let's open it up. I love you too. Let's open it up for questions about this partnership, please. If anybody has any, we got a microphone around with Dave. Where are you, Dave? And if anybody has any questions for these three gentlemen in regards to the partnership, let's do it. Dave,
Come on, Dave.
I got to do
Hustle.
play-by-play. And
Thank you. Yeah, for all three of you, for this partnership, how does it compare to other partnerships you've had in the past with all the stops you've had along the way? How does this one kind of compare to everything else?
I'll let the other guys take a shot at this, but look, with the speed with which technology is accelerating and escalating, it's different. Just because we can distribute media now in ways that you never could before. Jason mentioned the mobile apps, for example. 2 years ago, you didn't have mobile apps to stream radio or television on, and now you do have it. So it's unique in that sense. I think we're in the forefront, and I think the way both of our organizations are designed, we intend to stay in the forefront of it and be as forward-thinking as possible.
I think also one key word here is innovate. Throughout our discussions of how we were going to develop this partnership, innovation was always at the forefront. You know, we're not just going to put something on the air to have it go out through the speakers or out into the internet. We want to be innovative. We want to do things differently. We want to entertain the Detroit sports fans in ways that they haven't been entertained before. That's what we're all about at Detroit Sports 105.1. We started out being a different sports radio station, and this gives us a great opportunity to continue in that vein. And the Pistons are the perfect partner for that because they believe in innovation as well. And I think you're going to see some pretty exciting things in the days to come.
Yeah, I think we're going to try new things, and you know, some of them may work out great, some of them may fall flat. But the important part is we're going to try them, and that's the great thing about the different platforms that we have at our disposal. You know, if you want to hear Mark and Rick, and you want to hear the nuts and bolts of the basketball game, that's great. We're going to offer that for you, but maybe there's a unique alternate presentation that we can try on the HD channel. I don't think we've had our best idea yet. That's going to come as this agreement moves along. And I think overall our approach to how we cover things is different. You know, it's not going to be, you're not going to hear about the Pistons all day long and then at 7:30 flip the switch and there's the game. This is a partnership that's going to be 24/7 all day long. If you're a Pistons fan, you know to turn to 105.1 and you're going to hear Pistons news no matter what time of day it is, not just at 7:30 at night when they throw the ball up in the air.
Anybody else?
I have a quick question.
Hold on, let's get the microphone to you. Nice shirt, Dave.
The question is about twofold. Talk to us more about what we're going to hear on the HD channel and what we can expect, and community events, partnerships. What kind of things in the community? Do you have anything you can share on that front?
Sure. You know, it's interesting. You think about, everybody talks about content being king, but the reality today is that customization is queen. And, you know, Jason had mentioned, look, with the HD channel, the mobile apps, we've got unlimited potential to distribute our games and the things around our games in different manners. And I asked him, what do you mean by that? And he said, well, couldn't you do a broadcast just for women? Couldn't you do a broadcast just for kids? Couldn't you have the sights and sounds represented even over the airwaves? So the sneakers on the court, the sound of a swish, the sound of a dunk, the sounds behind, well, maybe not the sounds at the bench, maybe the visitor's bench. But you know, and that's what, you know, inspired all of us and our team. Our head of marketing and our head of sales and so forth, when we first met with Steve and Jason, it was an eye-opener. We thought, wow, this is something. This isn't, you know, going to be a static product. So pretty excited.
Any other questions for the three gentlemen? All right, thank you for attending today's press conference. We're looking forward to a great partnership with Detroit Sports 105.1 and certainly Palace Sports and Entertainment. Again, as Jason mentioned, our first broadcast will be the NBA Draft on Thursday, June the 26th. So another round of applause, guys. New home court of the Pistons is the new Detroit Sports 105.1. Thank you.
This is the new place to hear the Detroit Pistons.